As we were playing this game, few interesting observations came to me, so I thought that I would like to share. One thing is that it's third time that we're actually recording, so we ended up spending maybe half an hour playing this game. And at first, the first time we played, I think we weren't really sure how to play it because it's quite confusing. But I think as we were gradually playing, I felt it's actually amazing. I really loved it. It brought my attention to the mechanics of our interactions. Beginning another conversation indicating our misfortune in a very well packaged joke.
Making another joke about the fact that our viewers don't know what you are talking about.
Realizing that it must have been so out of context and explaining the joke directly to the camera.
Smiling at the camera and telling you with my facial expression that I would like to move on.
Giving a clear sense of relief and reintroducing the topic of this conversation.
Pointing out something about the way how you introduce subjects.
Accepting your comment and asking about your suggestion for improvement.
Giving you a suggestion for improvement and already thinking about the next thing, conscious that we are recording a video for YouTube.
Checking if the video is still recording and asking you a question.
Replying to the question and making a joke about the fact that we keep on looking at the camera to see if it's still recording.
Continuing with the joke.
Facing the camera again and making another reassuring statement to our viewers about the conversation we are having.
Laughing and asking the camera a question. Turning to you and complaining that it doesn't reply.
Pointing out to the rules of the game.
Indicating that it's okay to interpret rules in your own way.
Feeling nervous about your approach to this game. And expressing that nervousness by a not so direct remark.
Acknowledging your concern and suggesting to move on.
Moving our attention back to your previous remark and showing my disagreement with it.
Asking a question about details.
Replying to the question.
Asking another question pointing back at the main point.
Answering with another question.
Laughing upon realizing its cleverness and pointing it out.
Feeling exposed and making a joke.
Expressing appreciation.
Humming a song as a sign that I can resonate with that appreciation.
Joining into the song.
Yawning in the hopes that you will understand that I feel tired.
Cuddling you and caressing your head.
Leaning my head on your shoulder.
Continuing to caress your head.
Making a remark about nothing in particular.
Becoming lost in my own thoughts.
Becoming annoyed as I see you get lost in your thoughts.
Being fully lost in my thoughts.
Asking you a question to bring your attention back to our conversation.
Answering your question in great detail.
In great detail. Bringing the subject to something I've been wanting to mention for a long time.
Feeling intrigued.
Standing up because I need to go pee.
Lying down comfortably on the floor.
Standing up, exiting the room, remembering that I forgot to switch off the camera, coming back and switching it off.
Watching you as you do all those actions.
Realizing it's too late and peeing my pants.
Rejoicing and singing the pee in my pants song. And as I was imagining myself doing those actions that I was saying, I was noticing that it feels almost like playing some kind of roleplay game. That there are those two characters that we imagine that are us, that interact in certain way, but we don't interact. Like, you didn't pee your pants, I didn't, you didn't lean on my lap. Yet it almost felt like this interaction happened, and despite the fact that there was no content, the context was enough to create a story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think for me, sometimes I was just realizing that we sometimes actually mention the content. So the purpose of this game is to just mention the context, but sometimes we actually talked about content in an indirect way.
Yeah.
So we kind of skipped the purpose of the game. And then I was thinking, oh, how can I mention that, the fact that I acknowledge that we did that, in a way that I don't mention the content. And then I was just like, what do I say? So yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah, I must admit I was quite skeptical to this game before we started playing, but now I really loved it. I would like to play more.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard, so at first, so if you decide to play it, just give it some time to settle in and to fully immerse yourself in how it works. But when you do, it's amazing. I think it's a fantastic game. I was not expecting how much fun I've had during it.
Yeah. That's it. Thanks for watching.
Bye.